We've got ranking every Mario game on Nintendo Switch in brackets 2024 by Albert Boris. Hey everyone! We know who Albert is. You know who Albert is. So, and I'm going to also play alongside Albert Boris too. And we're going to rank these accordingly. And give me a nice, full, complete, hey everyone. Do it for me.
Hey everyone! I'm Albert Boris.
Oh, hang on, a little bit of a... I'm noticing a little bit of a Albert Boris. A little bit of a lower key in the Albert Boris. Very interesting, very interesting.
A few weeks ago, Mario & Luigi Brothership was finally released on a Nintendo Switch system, and I've really enjoyed my time with it so far. Is this a hot take?
Dude, this is a ranking video. You're not supposed to say your opinion until...
Whatever. Look, what I wanted to say is... The
Classic. The Demeek style lore, guys. I can't believe this. I can't believe this. Hang on, hang on. Bribing you to brain rotify the tier lists again. I'll do one, okay? I don't want Carlstorm getting mad at me, okay? He's gonna rain on our parades.
Marks the very last Mario game we'll likely be getting on the Switch. Or well, okay, there's still a Donkey Kong Country remaster, but besides that, I think it's safe to say that we've reached the end of the line when it comes to Mario games on this system.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say we're not getting any more, are we, guys? Yeah, there's just sniper. Do you think we'll get any like cross generation games? Like, do you think they'll release like a Mario game on like Switch 1 and Switch 2? Probably not as well, right? I don't think Nintendo would really do that often unless it's Zelda. So I don't think we're gonna get any more. I think it's Jova. I think it actually is Jova. Probably one more, you think? Nah.
Nintendo is working on their next console as we speak. And with that, I've decided to finally rank every single Mario game on the Switch. This console has had a huge impact on my life, and has partly shaped me into who I am today. Yeah. It wasn't my first gaming system, I'm not forgetting about you, my Wii, but it's definitely my favorite one, partly thanks to its insane library. And since I'm a huge Mario fan, I wanted to make this video in dedication of this system, but I'm gonna have to set up some rules first, because not everyone agrees on what a Mario game is, unfortunately. But for this list, I've decided that anything that's set in the Mario universe is allowed. Whether it's Mario Kart, Luigi's Mansion, Yoshi, WarioWare, heck, even Donkey Kong is fair game. So
yeah, you're letting everyone is here, Albert? Really? Everyone is here? Okay, very generous. Very generous.
No Minecraft or NES championships. And I was considering...
so you are going to discriminate then?
If I should put Smash Bros on the list, but I figured that's more of a general crossover game than a Mario title. And lastly, I've also decided to not include the HD remasters for DKCR and Luigi's Mansion 2. Because A, I am not waiting until January to make this list, and B, I am not wasting money on a game I already own. But more importantly, they're not really Switch games, as much as they're 3DS ones. I can still reference them when talking about their sequels on Switch, but otherwise, I don't want to overbloat this list. However, Wii U ports are fine. I
just love this idea that, yeah, I'm covering this many games, but those two though, sorry mate, club's full. Albert's like the bouncer in front of the club. You can hear the music bump. It's like, oh, come on, we're Switch games. We're on the Switch. What more do we need to come in? Sorry mate. Sorry mate, club's full. Come on, there's only 2 more people. Let us in. Club's full, mate. Club's full. Can't let you in. Can't let you in, lad. And then like insert like Luigi's Mansion 3 just like goes out for a cigarette. Look, he went outside. Can we go in now? Sorry mate, club's full. That's Albert right now. No, I was the hero last year. I'm the villain today. We're boring today. I don't know, D-script. Yeah, I guess we're bored. I guess we're Albert boring today.
Nintendo is very clearly trying to make us forget the Wii U existed. And also, Mario Bros. 35 doesn't really exist anymore.
Shut up! Don't. Why did you remind me? Why did you remind me? Okay, that was my goat. That was my goat, Albert Boris. Fuck you. You know what? Just because you said that. Where's Mario? Is it on this list? It's not even on this list. Oh no, it is. Ooh, just because you said that, my goat, my absolute goat.
But yeah, that's 29 games. Man, this is gonna be long. As always, I'm gonna be using a tier list for this video to more easily organize the ranking. So with all of that being said, I say, let's get started.
Which tier? Which tier are you starting with, F?
Opening up with the D tier, we have 3 Mario games which I don't like at all.
3 Mario games you don't like at all, huh? I think. Hang on. Let's have a look at the list. Let me guess. Let's make some predictions. I'm thinking one of them. All right, hang on. Let's make a more tiers. Let's make another tier real quick. Not invited to the Albert nightclub, and then we'll just put Donkey Kong Country. We'll put these two there. But as for the rest of them, I'm thinking my prediction is I think one of them has to be. Where's the game? Where is it? Oh, this one. Yeah, one of them has to be Battle League, right? Even though I love the Striker series, like this was just, yeah, I'm sad. It's not even Dimitri's fury; it's Musty's sadness. So this game just made me sad. It really did. Other than that, I don't know what your other D tiers could be. I guess if you're not really much of a WarioWare Andy, which would make me sad. I fucking love the WarioWare games. Get It Together was decently fun. I wouldn't put it in my favorite WarioWare game, but like, I think it deserves at least like a B. I would say at least. It was fun. I haven't played Move It yet. I still need to buy that. I'm lazy. Home Circuit. Does Home Circuit count? Oh, it is. Oh, it is here. Yeah, I think that will definitely be here as well. So I'm thinking it's going to be Battle League, Home Circuit, and then something else maybe. Aces maybe? Maybe. Please. Alright, okay, alright. There we go, okay. There it is. Alright, let's continue. Let's take a guess. Alright, 3D All-Stars? Do you think she'll hate 3D All-Stars on like principle? You think so?
They're not irredeemable, but they have too many issues
okay.
plaguing my enjoyment of them. And the absolute worst game on the list is Mario Strikers Battle League Football.
Sorry, Battle League Football, my bad.
Honestly, I wanted to give this game a chance. I've never played a Mario Strikers game before, nor do I like football at all, but they completely dropped.
Listen, I'll take you to a football game, don't worry, Albert. We'll change that, alright? I want to buy you an Arsenal shirt, don't worry, we'll be chanting all night.
The ball for this one. How am I ever gonna give it a chance when there's no content? It's so cookie cutter and lacking in things to do, it makes Mario Party the top 100 look competent.
Oh, that's mean. Oh, that was mean. Albert, what the hang on, you know what? I think we need a special, I think we need to, I don't think the audience quite knows, Albert, how angry you are, so I'm gonna help you out. I'm gonna help you out with this, okay? I'm gonna give you a bit of a hand. Just give me 2 seconds. Boom. There we go. Now the audience knows that you are in fact quite angry. I'll stick this down here, okay?
What does this game have? Well, I guess there's a few cup tournaments and online modes, not that anyone really plays it, and somehow the gameplay is both too overwhelming and too empty at the same time. Now yes, unlike Mario Tennis or Golf, Strikers has much more complex core mechanics. They take longer to learn, and while I'm sure they're fun once you've mastered them, it does make it a bit harder to get into the game.
I think that, I'm glad you said that, Albert Boris, with the amazing analysis once more, because I felt the same way, despite the fact that I've played all the Strikers games. I genuinely felt that same way as well, that I really like all the additions they made to like the skill ceiling, where like if you dodge someone last minute, you get a speed boost. If you like time a pass perfectly, it makes the pass faster. If you time a shot right as it hits a player's foot, the shot power increases. I love all this like extra little bit of mechanical skill they added. But I think for a series that's so long dormant that you probably wanted to get new people into, I think adding all of these extra elements that like really made the skill gap a lot higher compared to Strikers Charged or the Strikers Original, I don't think was the right way to go about it. While I thought they were fun additions to the game design, I think they just ultimately led to a game that was just not only bare bones on launch, but if somebody did want to get into it, they'd be like outplayed by someone who's been playing this game and knows all the little like tricks that you've taught them. And it's like, I don't think this is the right way to go about it. I don't know. It's just too much. It's just too much.
At least as a casual player. But even if I got past that hurdle, there's so little to the gameplay to keep me interested. All the courts play exactly the same, with no gimmicks, and while it's cute that you can customize your characters with different gears, it has no effect on the gameplay. So yeah, Mario Strikers Battle League. It's hard to get into, and there's no reward for doing so. You know what? This is F tier. At least the next game...
Jesus!
The list is so bad it's good. Man, I'm just sad for the people that waited 15 years for this.
I apologize for calling me, for specifically addressing me, Albert. Very nice of you. But you know what? I think that's just fair. I think that's a very fair rating. I would also put it in the El Skibbity tier. It's just, this is no, just get out of here. Dead game.
WarioWare Move It is cool for referencing that.
Oh, she hates WarioWare. Oh no, Albert, no. No. No, Albert, no. That makes me so sad. That actually makes me so sad. Oh, it seems like WarioWare as a series doesn't really have a lot of fans, all right? But when I do bump into someone that talks about it, at least they love it. You know, I can fanboy about WarioWare with people. But seeing someone talk about my beloved Scrimbly series, and to be honest, I haven't played Move It, so I can't. Yeah, I need to put this in the. I haven't played it, but I want to because I still haven't bought it. But yeah, I can't see this. I can't see myself putting this in the D tier. Even if I was to buy it, I don't see it. I don't see it happening. It's an L. It's an L. Albert, you hate a game I like, therefore the video is bad.
Plant Bus from Wario.
Worst Wario game in your opinion? I wasn't really that big on DIY because I don't know. I like playing mini games. I didn't really like making my own ones. So DIY, the whole bulk of DIY was making your own shit, and I'm not that creative enough to make stuff. It's the same with Mario Maker. Do you know, like most of my experience with Maker is playing levels, not making them, because I haven't got that creative juice to make something. I can critique things. I don't have the gumption to make it. I'll leave that to the experts.
And 4, but otherwise it's a broken mess. To be honest, I've never really enjoyed WarioWare to begin with.
Oh, that hurts. You didn't even. So what? You're telling me okay, Albert? Have you played Smooth Moves? Because if you're telling me you played either Smooth Moves, Touched, or Gold, and you're like, no, I don't like this, then you're high. I don't know what to say. You're high. Because those are the 3 best games in the series. Like if you played any one of those 3, you got peak WarioWare, in my opinion. What are you doing, Albert? What are you doing to me, lass? This unreal behavior.
I guess the premise is cool on the surface. You have to beat as many micro games as you can in consecutive order.
I played Gold, Get It Together, and Move. You played Gold and you... This is just... Albert, you've made the mistake of disagreeing with me, which means the video is bad now. I don't even know what... I have to dislike. I have to dislike.
But it's one of those ideas that's fun for a few hours, and then I'd rather play something with more substance.
It's like saying Mario Party. That's the same with Mario Party. Can you guys sit there and say you play Mario Party for 20 hours? No! You play one round of Mario Party and you're like, okay, I'm done. I'm gonna go play something else. No. That's the same with WarioWare, motherfucker. What do you mean? No! No, Albert, don't do this to me, Albert. You're supposed to be one of the
Games
chosen
themselves are usually
ones.
forgettable in concept, and they're only mildly interesting in the context I mentioned earlier. But that's not the problem with this game. It's the fact that it uses motion controls, and that would be fine if it worked. You have to be so precise in order to do what the game asks of you, because most of the time it barely seems to respond to my input.
I'm tempted to say your Joy-Cons were busted. I'm tempted to say that. In any of the motion control based WarioWare game, I've never had an issue. I've never had an issue. And I'm not saying it. Don't say it, chat, because I've not played this game, so technically I can't say it. I'm not gonna authorize the skill issue ICBMs. I'm not gonna authorize them. I'm not gonna authorize them. But I will say this is crazy.
Inputs. And to make things worse, a lot of microgames were really confusing on what exactly you were supposed to do. And that should not be the case when I only have 3 to 4 seconds to figure it out.
I mean, I guess that's like... For me, I think that's part of the charm of WarioWare. Like you get such a small amount of time to like figure something out really, really quickly. I think that's like one of the charming bits about WarioWare, if you ask me. Like, is it annoying when you get it wrong? I suppose, but especially with I know in Get It Together, when you run out of lives, you can like pay a certain amount of in-game currency, which is easy to get to just continue from where you left off. So if it was like the classic WarioWare games where once you like game over, like say the stage goes up to like 15, you game over at 30 and they have to start all the way back at 0. It's like you felt like it wasn't your fault. Yeah, you're not fair. That's like what some of the older Wario games have a bit of like oldish dated factor. Like they're a bit more dated because of that sort of thing. But yeah, Get It Together realized, yeah, it's a bit fair. You know what I mean? Like if you do die, you can just respawn at the same spot with a little bit of currency. So if this sort of game design really isn't for you, fair. I think that's fair. I think it's a fair critique, but I think that's just one of the charming charming things about the WarioWare series. In movie, you have to do some embarrassing move to respawn. That's even funnier. That's even funnier. That's even better. That's even better. Now that you said that, I'm even more mad at Albert.
There's a reason the game peaked at 9-volt stages. Now,
no, it only peaked at 9-volt stages because you're a soy ass motherfucker who's like, oh, references Nintendo. I like 9-volt because it references my scrimbly bimbly. Oh my god, you're the kind of motherfucker. You said you bought smooth moves. I guarantee your favorite part about smooth moves is going to be, oh my god, the 9-volt stage where you do the mohawk pose and you land on an island in Wind Waker. Oh my god, I love that one. I love that reference. Oh my god, that's you. Albert Soyis.
Overall, I guess the game might be kind of fun with friends, in a so bad it's good kind of way.
This is just murder. This isn't even you're murdering Wario. What is happening? This is unreal. Albert.
The story itself is kind of cute, especially with the lore they try to inject into the Joy-Cons. But overall, it's just a frustrating experience.
Albert Boris when a party game that isn't Mario Party is a bit esoteric and strange. No, you can't do that. Oh no, Albert. That's unreal. That is unreal behavior. I'm going to be honest with you, lads. That is unbelievable behavior. Jesus Christ. Listen, it's not an Albert Boris video without some extremely disagreeable takes. So to be fair, she's done her part. I give her props for that.
The Mario Kart Live home circuit is the definition of cool concept, forgettable execution.
Yeah, I think this is fair. I think this is a normal take. Yeah, haven't played and it's not on my radar.
I got this game 2 months ago just for this video.
A hand review? Albert, a hand review?
Don't worry, it was half price. And I mean, it's not bad, but it's more just a tech demo if anything. It's cool to have an augmented reality Mario Kart. I mean,
what? Hang on, I just... hang on, can I?
Just a tech demo, if anything. It's cool to have
so, like,
an augmented...
but I just need to know, how much of your room is like IKEA? Because I recognize this desk thing here. This is IKEA. I think this thing is also IKEA. Is your like desk setup also IKEA? It's all just IKEA.
Reality Mario Kart. I mean, who wouldn't love to race around their own house? But it's at its most fun when I'm not seriously playing and just messing around.
Everything's IKEA in your room. Yeah, I had a feeling. Because I love, bruv, I got an IKEA not too far from me, like half an hour from me. Bruv, the most fun thing my fiance and I did when she was here was just walking around the IKEA. I love IKEA. IKEA is my whole personality, I'm not gonna lie to you.
It's fun to set up courses, although it gets old after a while, and a lot of mechanics didn't really work as well as I wished. You can't really drive on carpets.
This desk I'm using right now is IKEA.
Yeah, I learned that the hard way. I have hair stuck in my cart now, and the fact that the cart can't go more than 5 meters away from your Switch is so disappointing.
Yeah, that's a bit lame.
You can't really make big courses unless you walk around while playing, and that's the best case scenario. What if you don't have any big rooms at all in your house? So yeah, I'm sorry. It's a novel concept, and I absolutely love the idea, but it's more toy than game.
Fair.
Anyways, that's the detail.
I've played it and this is harsh. Well, if anything, that just goes. Can we get a rich alert? So it seems like you have a house that's big enough to play this game properly. Therefore, you're rich. Therefore, opinion rejected.
Here out of the way. Now we move on to the C tier, which is for the games that are still kind of problematic, but I have more fun with them than I don't. Starting with Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games Tokyo 2020. I had no...
Jesus, they still made game. Yeah. Is it fair to say that Mario Sonic at the Olympic Games Tokyo is not on my radar, chat? Is that fair to say?
At all on this game, and literally only got it for this video, but actually it was kinda charming. I mean, it's kind of what you'd expect from a Mario and Sonic game, as it's really just a minigame compilation. There's nothing outright unfun about it, but when there are so many different sports minigames, none of them really get any standout focus, and so they're all pretty simple without much depth. I mean, wow, running, how engaging, and there's no reason for
they're not making them... Whoops, my bad, sorry. I did the zombie catcher thing. I knocked into my microphone. They're not making these anymore? Oh, really? It lost to NFT. Oh, I think I remember you guys telling me about this. I think I remember.
the minigames outside of the story mode either. There is online, but once again, with that said, I have to admit the story mode was kind of cute. The whole idea of Mario and Sonic getting sucked back in time and playing the Olympics in a retro world is pretty cool, and the plot does actually get kind of intriguing. Sadly, it's also like 60% dialogue and only 40% gameplay, but I digress. Overall, it's not really a good game, but it still has plenty of charm, even if the budget is noticeable. I don't have much to say about Mario Golf Super Rush. At its core, it's really just another Mario sports game that has too little content to make it worthwhile. The character roster is killer, the core gameplay works, and unlike Mario, make it worthwhile. The character
King Bomb?
roster is killer, the core gameplay works, and unlike Mario Strikers, I do kinda like golf as a sport. It took a while to get used to how it works, but I enjoy the precision and strategy that goes along with it. Plus it's just kinda relaxing. There's also a story mode, which is kinda fun. The premise is basic, you're just competing to become the best golf player ever, but I like the community you lived in and the characters you could talk to. Also, best Birdo characterization ever. Otherwise...
Is that best Birdo characterization? Hang on.
And the characters you could talk to. Also, best
Birdo character... Birdo in the kitchen, you just came down from your bedroom. Hang on. Are you married to Birdo in this game? Albert? What's happening here? Really, yeah? Is that what you mean, best Birdo characterization, huh? In the kitchen, where she belongs.
It's the Birdo characterization ever. Otherwise, I mean, it's cool, I guess. The main gimmick to this game is that you kinda run to your ball after shooting it, which doesn't really change anything.
What did Albert mean by this?
But okay, it gives me something more to do. I don't know, this is the most average Mario game of all time. I have literally nothing else to add.
I mean, think about poor old me. I've got nothing else to add as well. Or Super Rush. Not worried, really.
Princess Peach Showtime.
Princess Peach Showtime. Do I get Zozim in here? Do I get Zozim in this chat to like confirm whether Albert's being based or cringe?
The game I shouldn't be too harsh on, as it's clearly not made for my age demographic, but it was a fine game for what it was. I feel that this is probably the perfect Mario game to start off with, if you're a kid and just started getting into gaming. It's way easier than any other game on the list, with far simpler gameplay, more hand-holding difficulty, and the stages themselves play more out like interactive cutscenes than actual levels. Which I guess makes sense since the setting of the game is a theater. The best part of the game is no doubt
Can you say that again for me, Albert?
I guess makes sense since the setting of the game is a theater.
One more time.
Levels, which I guess makes sense since the setting of the game is a theater.
I'm just saying, in my 30 years on this earth, I've never heard someone pronounce it theater. Theater. That is unique to Albert Boris. Extremely unique. I've never heard that one before. That's crazy. It's like me and Divisive.
The best part of the game is no doubt all the transformations.
It's like what's so are we ranking every strange pronunciation I've ever reacted to. We've got Athen's Dash, we've got Madrid Drive, Theater, or what was the other one? There was another one I was thinking of. There was another big one I had in my head and I completely forgot. But yeah, we need to go with all the mispronunciations. Oh, Electro-Dome as well. Electro-Dome would be oh god, that'd be crazy.
Peach can take on though. Is they had a lot of
Cormac? Cormac? Oh man, that'd be brilliant. That'd be brilliant.
The best part of the game is no doubt all the transformations.
There's another one in the video. I'm excited for it. I'm excited. Oh,
They
man.
add a lot of gameplay variety to each stage, with the dashing thief and mermaid forms especially being creative. So yeah, it's a cool child's first game unless you're a completionist. Why did they make this aspect so sadistic? You see,
I heard this about Zozim complained about this. Is it Lakitu or Lakitu? My pronunciation of that word depends on who I'm talking to. It depends. I can go for either or. Although, to be fair, when it comes to people who pronounce it Mario instead of Mario, those people are weird. But when it comes to Lakitu versus Lakitu, I can go either way.
if you want to
I'm a
know
Lakitu centrist. Yes, I go both sides. It's Arceus. Anyone who says Arceus, go to bed. It's not the worst pronunciation, but you can go to bed. All right. Rosalina or Rosalina? Unless you're Australian, you have no excuse to pronounce it Rosalina. Yoshi? I find Yoshi charming because I had a friend in primary school who pronounced it Yoshi. So Yoshi gets a pass.
100% this game, you also have to find these crystals in each stage, which doesn't sound so bad, but the levels...
Wario? I think the Smash announcer says Wario, doesn't he? So it's like, that's fair. Mario or Mario? No, it's definitely Mario. But again, I have a soft spot for Mario. Because there's a lot of people in the UK pronounce it Mario, Politina or Politina? It's obviously Politina. Who's pronounced it Politina? They can go to bed as well. How do you pronounce Yveltal? I say Yveltal. I don't know how it's actually pronounced. So if someone corrects me, I'm fine with the correction, if I'm being honest.
are set up so that if you pass certain checkpoints, you can't go back unless you restart, which also means you have to go through a bunch of unskippable cutscenes, and it's so annoying. And the crystals are pretty hard to find too, so I can't imagine who would like this. So yeah, overall, it's just a fine game. Not for me, but not bad.
Yeah, I think that's about fair for Showtime. I was really excited for it, but yeah, it was just a bit shame that that it turned out just not ready for me, to be honest. A bit below my skill grade, so I'm just like, I'm okay, thank you. Is it Mario? Mario. Giratina or Giratina? Giratina is diabolical. Who on this earth pronounced it Giratina? Get out of here, bro. I don't believe it. It's definitely a skilled issue.
Super Mario.
The classic.
Party. Now, I've talked about this game numerous times in the past on my channel, so I'm not gonna be blabbering for too long, but overall, this is definitely a disappointing game for the series. Before release, it was hyped up for being the long-awaited return to form the series was waiting for, but then it came out and it kinda was, but it wasn't handled well. The boards were just too small, the ally and special dice mechanics were broken, and the game speed was so unbearably slow. And that's the main mode. Thankfully, the side content is actually pretty fun, especially Partner Party, which actually fixes many of the issues I mentioned, but on the whole, I'd much rather play other Mario parties on the Switch. It's mostly just nostalgia that brings me back, and
so I need to refer to you for this one? Is this a based or cringe take? I have no opinion. Counterpoint, I can dress up as a pretty princess. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. That is true. One of these days I might want to, but not today.
More.
Base take, kind of cringe. I like this game a good amount. Cringe based. Super is boring, but the side modes are good. Base take, game sucks. Super is fine. Okay, so a bit of a mix. It wouldn't be out if it was a bit of a mix. Also, Rayquaza or Rayquaza. It's definitely Rayquaza, but if you pronounce it Rayquaza, I'm not going to beat you up. Hydrocity or Hydro City. It's Hydrocity purely because Hydrocity just sounds more fun to say. If you say Hydro City, that's fine. But Hydrocity is just a more fun word. That's just way more fun to say Hydrocity than Hydrocity. Way more fun.
Dude, I was so excited when Yoshi's
Oh no, Albert! Albert, no! Is this game actually that bad? I would personally put this on my radar. Crafty World? No!
After the world first got announced.
No!
Yoshi's Woolly World on the Wii U was, and still is, probably one of my favorite video games of all time. So when
Is Albert doing the Albert thing of being weird, or is she actually so real for that take? Is it worth for me getting Woolly World on my Wii U? Was it on the Wii U? Is it worth me going back to my Wii U to get it?
When I heard that we were getting a sequel, it blew my mind. I knew it wouldn't be as enjoyable, partly because I prefer plushes to cardboard, but it still looked super charming, and, well, I mean it was okay. There's definitely heart and soul put into it, at least aesthetically. Gameplay-wise, the levels were fine, but they all kinda blended together. And I think the main culprit of this is the music. Good god, is it awful. There's only like 20 music tracks in the game, and they all use the same repetitive melody with the same amateurish instruments. It feels so sterile, and it makes me wonder how we went to this from Woolly World's much more rich and vibrant soundtrack. Otherwise, the game is not that bad outside of it. It's perfectly sound, but thanks, but no thanks.
Oh, that's even... What's worse than Albert Boris saying your series washed? It's thanks, but no thanks. That's got to feel worse, right? At least she killed WarioWare. She had the like gumption to come with a shotgun, flick it down, put 2 shells in, and then 2 in the back of the head. But with like Albert Boris, you literally served up a nice crafted dinner, and Albert was just like, just push the dish into the middle of the table. Yeah, I'm okay. I'm just like, ugh, that's gotta hurt. That's gotta hurt more, right? That's gotta. I don't know. Do you know what, Albert? You've convinced me. I'm not playing anymore. I'm not playing anymore. You're right. Albert has put me off now. Albert has single-handedly put me off now. I'm not playing anymore.
Lastly, before we move on to the next tier, I wanted to talk about New Super Mario Bros.
I think we need to, guys. We need to replay. We need to replay this game on stream. I need to play this game on stream because now that it's been like a bunch of years and no one cares about you anymore. Like the main reason people hated you was it was more of a game that we didn't want to see anymore. So now that there's been enough time and we've had more Mario, is this game actually good? That's what we need to do. We need to do a playthrough of this on stream.
Deluxe. It's basically New Super Mario Bros. U, but packaged with New Super Luigi U. Yay! To be honest, even as a kid who grew up loving the new Super games, I was still never the biggest fan of the Wii U version. Like, it's completely functioning with no game-breaking problems, but it's just kind of boring and formulaic. It's like
as if the other ones weren't, though. That's what I'm trying to get at. I'm like, maybe I'm just trying to get in the video. Maybe I'm just trying to be quirky, but I'm like, aren't all of those really? Can't you really classify any of the ones after the original as that? Does that make sense? I want to play every single new Super game after DS because like DS was obviously fresh, it's great, it's new, but it's like how much different were the other ones really? Does that make sense? How much different were the others? Was we really this like golden bastion and then you were just like, ugh? Or is it like both of them are of the same quality except Wii was the one you grew up with because you were a childhood bing bing wahoo and Wii U one sucks because the Wii U bad console? Like, you know what I mean? I'm just like, what are we doing here? What's the analysis here? You know, what's the analysis? So I need to play all 3 of these games back to back. I need to, like, within a relative short space of one, because I need to know.
Took New Super Mario Bros. Wii, which was already pretty safe, but tried to make it a little more unique. Unfortunately, it didn't go enough, and as a result, it feels like it doesn't really know what it wants to do. A lot of level ideas are shamelessly ripped from that game, and the few unique things it does end up doing don't matter at all. Like the fact that Peach's castle is the final world is a cool twist on the surface, but in execution, it just becomes another lava world, and it's actually worse than average because there's like, what, 3 to 4 levels?
Okay, that was pretty shit. I do hate the fact that Peach's Castle world only has like 4 levels. I noticed that in when you played Super Luigi on stream together. Yeah, that was kind of lame. That was kind of lame. I'd argue that U is better than Wii because even at the time Wii came out, there were clearly formula games. And frankly, Wii U just has a better set of levels. That's why I want to play both of them back to back. Which one, if we go band for band, which one has better levels? Do you know? Because I think that would be the king of who's better. I think 2 is kind of, you can kind of give 2 a bit more of a pass because at least it has the, whoa, collect all the coins. But between Wii and U, Wii space and U, which one is better? Band for band, if we go level for level, which one is better? That's what we need to do, you know? That's what we need to do.
Or how about the interconnected world map? At first, it's a cool callback to Mario World, but the
I'm not really
transition
too big on
between areas is so unnaturally
Yeah.
rushed. On the whole, it's still fine, technically. There's nothing I outright dislike about this game, which is why it's higher than the other C-tier games, and I guess New Super Luigi U does kinda save this remaster, because even though it still has many of the same problems, it's literally a reskin after all, at least the levels are slightly more interesting, and actually kind of difficult.
I would say the levels are moderately more interesting, but fair enough. As for this, it's not my... I mean, technically, I've already got both games on the Wii U, so of course it's not on my radar. This version of the game specifically, but either way. So far on the Sir Musty ranking, there's nothing happening. Because I've realized I've not played as many Mario games as I thought. Because I played God of War.
Anyways, now it's time for the B tier. Now we can talk about the games that I actually really like. They're not
Tumbleweed
great,
ass
but they're
tier.
solid experiences. Starting with WarioWare Get It Together.
A game I have played, so finally Sir Musty will have an opinion and he's not just stealing. If you want them, I'll give you the Musty take first. I would say WarioWare Get It Together was an interesting diversion of the formula. Okay, WarioWare Get It Together is the Wii U Rainbow Road of WarioWare games. I'm happy they did it, but I'm also happy never for them to do it again. Like, the whole idea behind this WarioWare game is that each character has like its own gimmicky play style. And while I thought it was interesting, I'm also just like, yeah, I'm okay. I don't want you guys to do this again. We could like just go back to your standard WarioWare fare after this, you know? Your standard fare. I think what also made it a bit annoying is that one of my favorite things about WarioWare is how like relatively accessible it is. I still every now and again play WarioWare Smooth Moves with all my siblings and stuff because those games are very, very easy to understand, right? Like there's different forms. Like you hold the Wii remote in a certain way and you do what the game says. But in Get It Together, it doesn't have that same accessibility factor because everyone playing has to know the different control methods, and some of them are a bit esoteric. So it's not like just as simple as look at it and you can figure it out. Which is a bit of a shame, honestly. So while it was a fun game and I did like it, I enjoyed my time with it. One of my favorite parts about WarioWare game is like being able to play it with like other people on the other side. The side modes. The main story is always going to be fun. It's the side modes that I really like. And while this game does have okay side modes, I'd rather just boot up a copy of Smooth Moves and play the bomb game and then constantly throw the bomb at my brother and till he dies because it's funny. Or playing Sudden Death on that game. Or Cut the Rope. The Cut the Rope game in WarioWare Smooth Moves cannot go understated. So yeah, I would say I'm glad they tried it. Don't ever do this again, please. And I would put it, I'd give it a B. I'd give it a B. I had fun with it, but I'm probably never going to play again.
This was a surprisingly fresh take on a series that I never really cared for, because instead of just playing the micro games as they are, this time you actually control the characters in the game to beat them, and they all have different powers that change up the gameplay. I actually had a lot of fun figuring out which strategies work for which characters, and while some of them...
I think my issue was that I kind of felt like I was forcing myself to play unique characters, because once you find like a core of characters you're good with, you have no real incentive to try the other play styles. Now, the game does force you to have certain characters in certain stages, obviously, for story reasons, etc., etc. But like once you find a core of characters, you're just like, I don't want to play anyone else anymore. You know? I'm just like, I'm okay, thank you. Like, because there's some characters that are just like way harder to control than others. Like 9-Volt is a good example. 9-Volt constantly moves left and right the whole time. You can't make him stop until you like press the button to throw his yo-yo. So it's just, yeah, just get the flyers and you're done. You know what I mean? So I'm just like... just kind of lame. I don't like that. It felt like while the concept of the idea of you control the characters were neat, they did not like adapt the WarioWare formula to adjust for that as much as they should have. That's my issue.
Are objectively easier to use than others.
Yes, even Albert's is the right
characters. And while some of them are objectively easier to use than others, I don't know why anyone would pick Mona. It's still fun to challenge yourself. The whole premise behind the plot is also a lot more interesting than in Move It, because everybody gets sucked into Wario's gaming system, and the goal is to get rid of all the glitches. It's still only B-tier because that's what this series deserves, but it's got much more interesting.
That's what this series deserves. Fuck you, Albert, for that.
Than I thought it would.
You're lucky this ain't 2014, Musty, otherwise I would have said way worse than just fuck you, alright? You're lucky. You're lucky you've got more refined, older Musty, alright? You're lucky. You're lucky, okay? You're a lucky woman you are.
Mario vs. Donkey Kong is a remake no one
Mario vs. Donkey Kong beats out WarioWare. Actually unbelievable.
For, nor had
Can we
expectations.
nuke the Gibaltics, please? Just get rid of them.
on. I mean, I don't know, the demo didn't really showcase much, but it was actually surprisingly short.
Now, while I haven't played a Mario vs. Donkey Kong game, so shocker, my opinion isn't going to be valid at all. What I will say is I did play March of the Minis. What would 2014 Musty say? Hold on. Jose, I haven't got Jose Marini on the soundboard, but I prefer not to speak. What I will say is that I think I played the one on the DS. I think it was called March of the Minis. Correct me if I'm wrong. And while I did like the puzzle game design sort of aspects, it was one of those things where I played a couple of levels of it, and I was just like, oh, okay. I'm kind of done now. Like, I didn't really feel like the game design wasn't so interesting or unique. I'm like, whoa, now that's crazy. So I'm just like, oh, that's okay. I'm okay, thank you. Is it very different to the OG? Really now? How different are we talking now? But convince me.
Short and sweet. I always enjoyed puzzle platformers, and this is definitely one in the truest sense, with lots of walking around, but you always have to figure out how to get to the goal most efficiently. It's a really seamless combination in this game. Unfortunately, I don't really like how Mario controls. He just feels so stiff and heavy, and dying in one hit no matter what is a bit cruel. But I got used to it, and they were still able to give him a varied moveset, so all is fine. And wow, there is a lot of content, because not only do you have the special worlds, which actually give you a different objective, but as a remake, it also gives us 2 additional main worlds, as well as a time attack mode. Overall, it's not the most ambitious game ever, and the levels are pretty basic, but I spent more time on this game than I anticipated, so I have to give it props for that.
I don't know, but you've still not done a good job convincing me. I'll just... Man, I hate... Guys, can you tell I hate Mario? Guys, I hate Mario. Fuck Mario. Hang on. Sing it with me, chat. Sing it with me. I was never book smart, I'm money smart, more intelligent.
Is also a cute remake I'm glad we got, even if the cover art is absolutely terrible. I was never really the biggest fan of this game on the SNES.
Now, okay, if you want the most, again, another game I haven't played, could we get some crickets, please? Crazy. But this is what I'm definitely interested in. I've heard nothing but everyone say amazing things about this game. So I actually genuinely do want to try this game, especially also the fact that people said as an RPG, it's not that long. Like, it's not as long as... When I hit RPG, I don't know you, when I hit RPG, I think 100 hours long. And thankfully this game isn't that. So I do want to give it a try someday. I absolutely do want to give it a try. But Albert says it's not all that.
Yes, because while it definitely wasn't a bad game, it was a bit archaic and visually uncanny for my taste. But this version manages to keep roughly the same art style, just updated, and I like it so much more. Although, the game itself is still just good. There's some charming characters, battle system is decent, but I don't know, there's nothing amazing about this game. The villains are frankly forgettable, and they're only cool because they let Bowser be playable, the level design is straightforward, and the platforming elements are fairly limited. I enjoy this game for what it was, and I respect it for being the stepping stone for Mario RPGs in general, but it doesn't hold a candle to what came after.
Really? That's interesting to say. I've heard nothing but people still say good things. Although, is it just nostalgia and vibes? Do I move it into the not gonna? No, I'm not gonna. Even despite you saying it's not as interesting as people say, I still want to give it a try. I still 100% want to give this game a try someday. I evidently, if this has taught me anything, I need to play more Mario, because I think in general, I did not play a lot of video games this year, which is unfortunate. I have 2 jobs now, chat. What can I do? I'm a job jandy. Tennis?
Oh boy, Mario Tennis Aces. Okay, please don't blame this on nostalgia. Look, realistically speaking...
I'm prepared to blame on nostalgia.
This probably doesn't deserve to be...
Don't tell Demeach, guys. Which my Demeach video on this ranking is gonna... My reaction to this Demeach video will be out soon, guys. Demeach December, hashtag Demeach December.
Higher than the other sports games. But
having watched it back while I was editing, I was just like, man, I was drunk, by the way, when I was watching it, and you can tell. I was like way more mean than I usually am. Which is weird, because I don't know if you guys know, but Demeach commented on my Pokemon video saying, yeah, it was actually quite insightful. It's probably one of the best things I've ever watched, or reactions to my content I've ever watched. I was like, oh, that's pretty neat. You're not prepared for my reaction to your Tennis Aces one, though, because I was very mean in that one. It's very mean in that one. I'm definitely going to have to do a little bit of cutting because, yeah, definitely a little too mean. So Drunksty gets a little bit hostile. It gets a little hostile at night. Is the Battle League one getting a video? Did we watch that one already? I think we did. I need to find it somewhere on my hard drive. I've got so much stuff I need to do, guys. I've got 2 jobs, okay?
This game is actually kind of underrated.
Gamers. I want to formally apologize for anyone that's watching me while going to sleep, okay? Because you know what? Albert said the word. We just cut the shipping stuff. No, the shipping stuff was funny. That's definitely staying in. It was the other stuff that's getting out. The U word, Albert. Okay, now here's your chance. Gamers, let's go in with an open mind. Let's go in with an open mind. Because Albert now has to do the extremely uphill task of explaining to us why this game is underrated. Because as far from everything I've heard, again, I've not played this. I'm evidently not as much of a Mario Andy as some of you. The chat thinks you're wrong. So you have to now do the uphill task of convincing us why this is underrated. Because if you ask them, it is correctly rated in that it's kind of bland. Do tell.
Thing holding it back is, you guessed it, the lack of content. The controls and the mechanics are near perfected. I already think Mario Tennis has a better core gameplay than either Strikers or Golf, as it's neither too chaotically complex nor too slow-paced. It's just in the middle. Easy to learn, but satisfyingly hard to master. What I like about this game's controls is how they almost turned it into a fighting game. Because yes, it's still tossing the ball back and forth, but the addition of zone and special shots makes the gameplay a lot more aggressive, and I love how it raises the stakes for each match. There's also a story mode, so what makes this one different? Well, there's an evil tennis racket that's possessing all of your friends, and you have to find the 5 Infinity Stones to defeat it.
5 Infinity... Evil racket! What a story. Is this the underrated gem we're talking about here? What?
It's so over-the-top dramatic for a tennis game, but I love how crazy it is. And the stages themselves take fun advantage of the tennis mechanics, even when you're not playing a match. And there's boss battles! All of this fits perfectly with the aggressive gameplay of this game. Honestly, this game deserves a whole separate video. Now, if
really, I'd love to watch that.
Story mode. Sadly, there's not much else beyond that. The tournament cups are bare bones. The free play is limited with what courts you can play on, and no one plays online anymore. This game was so close to being amazing. Oh well, I guess beater is sufficient enough.
So I don't know, what do you guys say? Yay or nay? Has Albert Boris done a good job of convincing you that this is underrated? I would maybe say you've done a good job of showing me that this is maybe a bit overhated. That's because my only exposure to this game was Demeech, who was like, there's no content, what's the deal with that? So maybe you've convinced me that this is a bit overhated, but not underrated though? I don't know. The chat is not convinced. They're being mean. They're being very mean to you, Albert. Can I just put this here? There's a middle finger looking at us tier list. I flipped off Mario this year. I've not played a lot of Mario. Captain, my Captain.
Captain Toad Treasure Tracker is a charming...
Yeah. Can I just... Shocker. Another game I haven't played, but I want to, chat. Shocker.
little spin-off based off of the Captain Toad levels in 3D World. Have you ever wanted to play a game where you can't jump at all?
Yeah.
No.
And this game is just for you! To be honest, well, that sounds bad, and realistically speaking, I don't see how Backpack can weigh him down that much. It's actually really unique and fun taking a puzzle platformer, because by taking away such a significant move from your character, it means you have to pay much more attention to the stage around you, and see what you can do to reach the goal. And the levels themselves are actually surprisingly creative, especially in the bonus episode.
Now here's what I gotta say to any of the Captain Toad Andys, right? I think my fear about going into this game, right, is that while I love the Captain Toad levels in 3D World, because they were a nice break of the pace, an entire game of this, is this going to be all icing, no cake? That's my worry. Do you know what I mean? Like, 3D World was a nice cake. The Captain Toad levels were a nice bit of icing on top, you know? It made for a lovely, glorious, victorious sponge that went lovely with a nice glass of juice, right? Is having a cake all icing going to be worth it, though? You know? Is it going to be worth it? That's the thing.
It's just that it's a bit on the short side to be any higher. I was
What
able
the
to
hell?
beat
That's a W for me. I love short video games. It means I don't have to commit as hard because I have commitment issues.
the main story in less than 5 hours. And while the collectibles in
5
both
hours? That's a perfect amount of time. Like, Sonic X Shadow Generations was like probably my favorite game of this year, and that game was like 4 hours long. I love short video games, Charlie.
bonus objectives gave me more to do, they're pretty easy to get. I definitely think this game deserves a sequel though, where it could truly shine.
Truly shine. So this didn't shine enough. Really? Because if you're asking Daybot, this game has the cake. Ooh, really now? I do like me some cake. The levels are far more fleshed out than the 3D world counterparts. Ooh, you might have convinced me, Daybot. I'm not gonna lie, you might have convinced me. Can we get to a game I played, please?
Now, Mario plus Rabbids.
Okay. Oh, in all fairness, I did try and play this. I actually did try and play this. I played like the first hour of it on a live stream, or first 2 hours on a live stream, and I just didn't feel the need to play it again. And I feel like the gameplay was just a bit too big brain for me. Does that make sense? I have a softly promised that one of these days I want to come back to this game and give it a proper try, and you guys on stream can help me play it, because I feel like the game design just didn't click for me. It just didn't click for me. The XCOM style of like game design just didn't really click with me. I felt like I didn't really know what I was doing, or I didn't really know how to play the game as well as I could, you know? Like with Fire Emblem, I feel like it's very clear. My character's on a space. If another character can walk up to that space, you challenge each other to a fight. Or if they're, in case they're an archer, you know, 2 or 3 steps behind, depending on the gimmicks at hand. But it feels like the ability to like move and then shoot from a distance, and I don't know, it just like there was just nothing. It couldn't click. Like I knew what I needed to do. I knew what I needed to do, but it just didn't click in my head. You know. I want to say no. I think it's fair if you say it. It just didn't click with me. It's a bit of a skill issue. Fair enough. I think that's fair to say. I think it is a bit of a skill issue. But do I have to give it another try? That's the thing. Because I do have the game. Do I have to give it another try? I have been told I need to give it a try.
One of the most bizarre successes I've played, and I'm still surprised it's as good as it is. When I first heard that Mario was making a crossover with the Rabbids, I was admittedly furious. Seriously? These stupid dumb rabbits? But of course my brother thought they were so funny, and that's how it became one of the first Switch games we got.
Dude, they are funny. You're just miserable.
Yeah, and you're green. But actually...
Oh, you hit him with the green allegations! Unreal. You know, just for you, chat. I'll put it there. Is that fair? Is that fair? I'll put it there for you.
Thank God. It's an RPG, but unlike the other more action-focused ones, this one's almost purely tactical instead. And while it's not for everyone, I really enjoyed it and thought it was handled well. And not once did I actually find the Rabbids to be annoying. If anything, they were actually kind of charming.
Yeah, I actually shockingly, I did like the Rabbids here. I'm a Rabbid hater too. I did like them. Again, I couldn't wrap my head around the game design. I just couldn't
Especially
do it.
the Phantom boss. But you might wonder why it's still only number 15 though. And well, the game peaks in the first half. Once you get to the third and fourth worlds, it starts to noticeably drip. As the difficulty gets a little too extreme, even on easy
Albert, you made the horrible mistake of mentioning difficulty, Albert.
mode. There will just be so many different enemies everywhere that it's practically impossible to not get hit, which gets a little overwhelming. Plus the level themes start to become generic. But even so, I thought it was a super fun game overall. And there's also plenty of overworld exploration to top it off, with fun secrets to discover. Considering this game wasn't made by Nintendo, it's a pretty underrated gem.
Underrated gem? I disagree. I think it's a correctly rated gem. Rabbids VR was the scariest experience. There's a Rabbids VR? I didn't know there was a Rabbids VR, but thank you for the 2. I appreciate that. Rabbids VR, yeah. Do I need to Rabbids VR review and the OST?
Paper Mario the Origami.
So instead of eyes, all right, guys, this is one where I'm entirely gonna go off Albert Boris's opinion. All right, because Paper Mario, I know there's a lot of Paper Mario Andes in here. I've heard a lot of mixed things about Origami King. It's the mid one. It's worse than Sticker Star. Best thing since Thousand Year Door. I don't know.
Origami King. You were so close to greatness, but then you just had to fumble it up. So, I think it's no secret that the modern Paper Mario games aren't really the greatest.
Ooh.
The world building is more generic than the classic trilogy.
Who has it worse? Modern Paper Mario fans or modern Pokemon fans? Imagine being both. God, you just must love torture. Wow! Can we give Alfonso like 2 minutes to calm down? Alfonso has crashed out in this. Can we just get? Can I have a look at his logs, please? Can we just have chat messages? Here we go. Can we have a look at today's logs? Wow! You have to play it. Albert, hop off the rapid misspelling as well. Fucking no, Moresty, no, boo. Oh man, it's like unbelievable. The crash out. Alfonso had a generational crash out this entire stream. Gotta take a minute there, Alfonso. Relax yourself, lad. Oh man.
And the removal of XP makes battles completely pointless. I don't like either Sticker Star or Color Splash for this reason, but when it came to the Origami King, I had much more conflicting thoughts upon finishing it. Because on one side, I loved the overworld exploration. The levels were huge, had super unique themes, there were so many secrets to find, and the level design itself was just so dynamic, with lots of elevation, platforming, and puzzle solving. No complaints at all. And filling up all the holes was super satisfying. Even the characters, well, boring in design, were still able to really pop out in personality. But oh god, the battle system is so atrocious.
Ooh.
I don't mind the concept of it, the whole ring system can be a neat...
Okay, can we get, gamers, can we get a live Zozim reaction? Hang on. Can we get gamers, I'm calling upon a live Zozim reaction. I need a fact check. We need to get this fact checked by the Musquire Empire. I need a fact checker to join me right now. I need Zozim. Where's Zozim at?
Challenge when you have to line up the enemies, but usually it's either too easy or just plain impossible. The main problem I have with it though is how much it slows down the pacing than if I just fought them normally, especially the boss battles. And you don't even get anything useful from fighting anyways, because I can just find coins and confetti in the overworld either way. You can't even flee battles most of the time, because it's completely random whether it goes through or not. How is this game so great and so awful at the same time? If I had to pick which side overpowers the other, I guess the good still outweighs the bad. Partly because I always try to see the best in things, unless it's Mario Party 4, but it still makes me sad how inconsistent this game is, so it's barely at the edge of the A tier for me.
Let's see what the final boss of Origami King in my Discord, the Eggnog Nostalgia Critic, has to say about that. Hello, Eggnog Nostalgia Critic, aka Zozim. You did fail no Nostalgia Critic November. I am very upset with you for that, by the way.
Yeah,
I'm very upset with you about that. But we need a first opinion, because my opinion is no first opinion. Your opinion is the opinion. Is the battle mode whack? Albert was extremely upset with the battle mode. Was the battling actually whack? Is Albert so real?
Okay, so
or
here's
so
the
cringe
thing,
for that?
right? I can understand if people don't like the battle system. I think it's way too harsh to act like it's like awful, the worst thing ever, you know?
So Albert was definitely hamming it out for content. Is that the accusation that we're making right now?
I think so, yeah.
Oh, the gauntlet's been thrown, Albert. The gauntlet has been thrown. It's unreal behavior. Apparently, you're just hamming it up. She said it was this close to greatness. Would you disagree with that statement?
Highly.
So
I don't think the battle system brings the game down that much. I would say the rest of the game is like so great that I like the battle system for what it's worth, but if I didn't, I could still like ignore that.
So it's got that many pluses for it that the battle mode, even not being as good, is not enough to put. Because Albert said what, edge of A tier, so B plus tier. Do you think that's like an underperformance? Is that what you think?
I'd say that's like alright. I highly disagree, but it's not like offensive, you know.
It's not offensive.
I'd be offended if she was like C tier, you know. But
Got it. So definitely different strokes for different folks kind of take, you know.
Yeah,
definitely one of those. Boris says she didn't mention the battle issues I'd consider problematic, like the lack of enemy info that you were able to access in game. Is that true, Zozo?
I've never thought about that, but I could see why someone would say that's a problem.
Mention the boss battles, please. Somebody just said someone's yelling that. So can you talk about the boss battles real quick?
Here's the thing about the boss fights. The boss fights take on like a variation of the battle system, and I honestly kind of fuck with it. Because it's basically just the ring system, but more puzzle based. You know, the ring system was already puzzle based, but it's kind of flips it around. Because usually, right, you're on the inside of the ring, but the boss fights make it so that the boss is on the inside of the ring.
So it does a nice flip on the formula, which I do like me a bit of formula flippery. So I don't know, Albert. I have been swayed by the Origami King defenders. I'm gonna be honest. I might have to put that in. Not played, but I want to. Do you think that's a fair spot? Should I? You think it's worth me playing it? Like if someone who's I like me a bit of Mario RPG games. I've played Super Paper Mario and enjoyed that. Is Origami King going to be up my alley?
I think if you like enjoy like Mario RPG writing, Origami King is fantastic.
I love me some Mario RPG writing. It's probably my favorite parts about the Mario Luigi games.
Okay, in that case, then I would recommend Origami King.
Oh, we got a hard recommendation by Zozum Games. A hard recommendation. Fair enough. Thank you so much, Eggnog Nostalgia Craig. Maybe next year you'll pass no nostalgia in November. Maybe
I'm gonna win next year.
Next year you'll win.
Staying strong.
Have a good one, fella. Alright, so there's the Zozum Take Gamers. There's that. Just so, because I know that the chat was incensed. I had to calm you guys. Alfonso was crashing out. So there we have it. We had a good take, okay? We had a take we agreed with, therefore it was a good one. You know the rules, guys. You know the rules. Let's continue.
Speaking of which... That marks the transition to the A-tier games for me. Now we can talk about some really great titles, starting with Mario Party Superstars at number 13. Admittedly, this game has a pretty special place in my heart, as it's kind of what kickstarted my whole channel to begin with. But even so, I can still go back to it and have a blast. Where Super Mario Party failed, Mario Party Superstars made up almost completely. It may only consist of remastered content, as the boards and minigames are remade from previous games, but it does a heck of a good job at putting a modern spin to them, while still keeping most of the classic elements. And considering this was in an era where the franchise was trying too hard to be unique and failing, I think it's exactly what we needed to get back on track. Now, like some other games I talked about, yes, there is a severe lack of content again. Seriously, there's no unlockables, very bare bones side content, but hey, at least there is online, and it's slightly more active than the Mario Sports titles. Or well, okay, I guess I might also fundamentally...
Should have hit me up, Albert, that's your fault. Well, actually, no, I actually don't own my copy. Oh, shouldn't I give my copy of Superstars back to my brother? Because it was his and I borrowed it for a long time and he asked for it back. So I actually don't have it. So no, I wouldn't be able to help you with that, actually.
To enjoy Mario Party more than these other series. I don't know, I just think it has richer gameplay variety to the sports game.
Wait, did she say the line? Hang on. What did she say?
Sports titles. Or well, okay, I guess I might also fundamentally enjoy Mario Party more than these
fundamentally
other series. I don't know, I just think it has richer gameplay variety to the sports games, and is way more fun with friends, even if you end up hating each other for it. Luigi's Mansion 3 is definitely...
Oh, fuck gamers, finally! I could talk about a game! Sir Musty's opinion is so back, gamers. We're actually so fucking back. Let's go! Let's go, I'm back! I can talk about most of the games here I think I can talk about. Yes! I'm back in action, baby! As for Luigi's Mansion 3, this is probably one of the most charming games I've ever played, and I'm going to use the C word. It's actually really... For me, I think one of the things I hope Albert mentions this, is the animations. I think Luigi looks so bouncy, looks so full of life. I love the way Luigi looks in this game. It actually looks fantastic. The puzzle in this game hit that right amount for me, where it's just difficult enough where I feel, aha, yes, I figured this out, but it wasn't so hard where I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake, I'm gone. You know, like, puzzle games are really hard for me because they have to hit this, like, relatively narrow band, you know? They have to hit this relatively narrow band. If it's too tough, I'm like, I just give up and I don't want to play you anymore. But if it's too easy, then I don't feel satisfied having solved a puzzle. I think Luigi's Mansion hit that nail perfectly. It had that nail perfectly for me, and I absolutely adore this game for it. I think all the boss fights were fun. The ghosts were varied and fun. Again, is it the most difficult game I'm playing? No, I don't really think there were any difficulty about it. It's a Mario game that we're expecting. Honestly, I'm not even kidding. This might seem crazy. This genuinely might seem crazy. I'm putting it in the S tier. Maybe high A, I don't know. We'll see. But for now, I'm going to leave it there. Low S, high A. honestly, I absolutely adored every minute. This game was charming to the nth degree. It really, really was, and I would recommend you pick it up. And the scare scraper mode, it might be dead, but it is still fun to play if you can get some people around. So it's got a fun multiplayer mode too. I would say low S. I really say it. I would really say it, honestly. What does Albert think though?
The pinnacle of the Luigi's Mansion trilogy. The first game is spooky but a little short, and the second game is unfortunately bogged down by the mission structure, which
I would say so.
ruins the pace.
Oh yeah, also yeah, I love the fact that Luigi's Mansion 3, like, you're just, like, it doesn't do the Luigi's Mansion 2 thing of, oh, you did the mission, time to go back. Like, that's one thing that really annoyed me about 2. It really did annoy me about 2. 2 was still a good game, I enjoyed my time with it, but it really did annoy me. I'm glad that 3 ditched that sort of level design, you know?
Ranking it, but if I were, I'd give it a C. What I like about this game though is
C. Slander, I love it.
Basically takes the best aspects from both of the previous installments and then tops it off with some other.
I don't know, I enjoyed the mission system. Yeah, but you like raisins, okay? You're weird, Chili Green. You're weird.
New mechanics as well. This time, you're exclusively in a haunted hotel, but each floor has its own unique theme, and there's a lot of them. Maybe a bit too many.
Oh, is that like an Albert Boris staple? Has a lot of a thing. Maybe too much. Am I right?
We're all really creative and rich in puzzle solving.
Classic
I actually
Boris.
had to sit down and think quite a lot of times on how I should proceed further, as this game has a ton of new features as well to spice it up, from Luigi, plunger shots, and even jumping. Some people may think it's a little
plunger? Is that the other mispronunciation? Plunger?
too much, but I love the variety.
No,
even
I love it
sucking
too.
up ghosts is more engaging than usual, because you can also slam them into the ground, potentially hitting other enemies as well as a bonus. Now, on the whole, I do think that the game does go on for a little too long. There is only so much puzzle solving I'm willing to do.
Really? Coming from someone who really doesn't like if any game is longer than like 20 hours, I'm checked out. I thought this was like a really good length. I really enjoyed it. So, odd that you'd say that.
Before I get bored, but still, it's an excellent title.
Hello, gringo fella.
Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope is a game that really surprised me.
Okay, we're back in the we're back. Musty's out of play, guys. Tactical substitution. I'm running off the pitch, high-fiving Albert Boris. She can run back on the pitch because yeah, we're back in the Musty-less zone.
Good it was. I mean,
back in the Musty-less zone.
Kingdom battle enough, but even though this one looked quite a bit more dramatic, I wasn't expecting anything too out of the ordinary. Or was I wrong? This sequel evolves on the gameplay in every way, and while not every change is good...
Also, I forgot to mention the Poltergeist missions, but those bogged down 11-3. I thought they were okay. Like, were they the pinnacle of fun? No. But they're okay. I thought the ghost slamming made it a bit too easy, even for a baby game. You're not wrong, but it also just felt fun to just slam a ghost into another ghost. You know? It was just fun.
On the whole, this game was masterful. Kingdom Battle may have made the Rabbids not annoying, but this one made them outright likable, giving them their own unique voices and even dialogue. Like, what? How do I even like these characters?
You like
now?
them.
The gameplay
You
is
like the
also pretty unique this
Rabbids.
time
You
around,
like the
as the levels you
Rabbids.
explore are now open world, which I think is super cool. However, I'm not too big on the revamped battle system. They kinda tried to make it more engaging, as you can now actually move around freely on the arena, but it's also just a bit all over the place, like they tried to make it tactical and action-based at the same time. Kingdom Battle was more straightforward in this regard, and it just felt easier getting used to that game system. Otherwise though, this game is definitely better, with its more unique world building and storyline. Pretty great game overall.
Okay. Again, I wish I had more to add, but I'm just stealing I'm literally stealing content. I can't really say it's on my radar, if I'm being honest, so I'll just leave it there for now. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
8 Deluxe is a game I've made way too many videos on.
Same! I wish I made less. I want more Pokemon videos.
And I will continue to.
No, Albert, no, you're supposed to leave the dark side. I'm leaving soon for an even darker side.
It's write this off as the greatest Mario Kart game of all time.
Oh, actually, yeah, I have an opinion on this. Oh, shit, yeah. Yes, Mario Kart, it's like the definitive Mario Kart game. What the fuck you mean? Of course it's this too. Duh.
After all, it's got the most courses, characters, items, just about everything, besides Tor, of course. However, quantity is not a substitute for quality. It's in a very similar boat to Mario Party Superstars, where even though the content is great, nothing feels earned. Why is everything unlocked from the start?
Oh, Albert's an unlockable Andy. Oh. Oh no, I'm so sorry, Albert. No, I'm so sorry. No, Albert, no. Firstly, dropping this game that many spots because no unlockables is a bit, I'd say it's a bit chicanerous. Personally, I would say it's a bit chicanerous. But on top of that, it's not like, I don't know, but I've got shit to do. I'd rather just have everything with the default. I'm not gonna lie, man. Like, I think while in principle I can agree that this modern era of no unlockables does suck in principle. I do agree in principle. As a man who does not have as much time to spend on video games as he used to, just give me everything, bro. just put the fries in the bag. You know what I'm saying? I'm okay, thank you. I'm okay.
What? Is it so that the Wii U owners won't have to do everything again? Well, take a good look at these Wii U owners. And even then, there's no way to transfer over your online VR, which I'd think takes longer to get back, but I digress. Maybe this is a stupid thing to nitpick about, considering most people play Mario Kart for the multiplayer, but I don't know. I miss the intricate unlockable system of Mario Kart Wii, which
I would like think this is a fair point if we were like in the start of the era of unlockables, but I feel like how many years would you guys say now we've been in like the post unlockables era? I think it's been like at least like 5 years. Is that fair to say? I think as of like this current, or sorry, say the last generation of consoles, I think we've, especially the second half of the last generation of consoles, so I'd say about like 2017, 18, that sort of era, like we're kind of like way into the there's no unlockables now era of video games. Like if this was around the start, I'd be like, you know what, fair, because we're still kind of like reeling over that. But like now it's just kind of like, it's like making fun of Fortnite in 2024. Like back when the whole Minecraft good, Fortnite bad meme was big in like, you know, 2019 or whatever it was, I was like, yeah, fair enough, I get it. New game bad, old game nostalgic, fair enough. But like, if you're clowning on Fortnite in the big 2024, I'm like just looking at you funny because I'm like, what are you doing, bro? Like, it's like clowning on Marvel movies now. It's like, you're like 5 years too late, brother. What are you doing? Because I'm just like, what's happening? What's happening here, Albert? I mean, you're like, where's that meme that like Japanese man thinks World War II's still going after 27 years? You know, so.
It's exciting when you got something new, and gave a bigger purpose to single player. And that's not to say this game isn't fun, far from it. It's still incredible for what it does right, and even with the inconsistent course selection, these are definitely some of the greatest tracks in the series. It's just that I think a Mario Kart game needs a little more than that. Make it rewarding to reach Rainbow Road. Otherwise though, yeah, this is definitely the definitive version of Mario Kart 8. The revamped battle mode is way better, the purple sparks and new items are cool, as are double item boxes, and I also owe the booster course pass my whole career, and I don't want it on my doorstep tonight, so A tier it is.
Open your Mario Maker?
You know, not gonna lie, but even from the very start, I never enjoyed Super Mario Maker all that much.
Crazy take, but continue.
Sure, it was cool to have an official level editor at last, but not only was it unbelievably limited in what you could do, but you could only upload a total of 10 levels online. Why? But then Super Mario Maker 2 came out, and it was better in every...
this is another... Oh shit, sorry guys, I forgot. This is a game I can have an opinion on. Mario Maker 2. Yeah, Mario Maker 2 is fantastic. Yeah, the idea of having an official Mario game that lets you make Mario games is fantastic. I love that sort of thing. It's a game that I always say I need to play more of, but never do. Seeing the creativity that people come up with is always amazing. I forgot what opinion as well. I was so used to my stealing. I'd give it an A. It's probably not my mainly because like the only reason I put an A and not like any higher is because half of the game is essentially useless to me because I don't really make levels. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to make. Like I'm just creatively bankrupted. I open up the level maker and I'm just like, okay. And that's kind of it. But like the amount of like fun I have both browsing really good and creative levels, the amount of competitions I've done on Twitch where like I make you guys create a level with a gimmick and then I play it, the amount of times I've bumped into little Jimmy levels. I love playing little Jimmy levels. I don't know about you, Charlie. I love playing little Jimmy levels. Every type of level you can think of, I love playing it. So I'll give an A for that, at least for that. I can't put an S because like I said, half the game is effectively useless to me, but
way, and not just thanks to the addition of slopes. But there are so many new level themes, enemy types,
Yeah, like
bosses...
Fight
heck,
Iggy. I
even
love those
new
levels.
world
I
maps
love
for
those levels
levels.
so much.
And thank goodness you can upload up to 100 levels online. I guess if there's something the first game did better, it's that the video gamepad
I really hate to cut you off, but it is like I've got to leave for work in like 5 minutes, so I'm going to be late. So we are going to do a little bit of speeding up here. All right, just a little bit of creative speeding up. What's number 8?
Now we're getting
Mario Wonder, huh? Mario Wonder. Oh, I have an opinion on this. Mario Wonder is pretty good. But is it S tier good though? I wouldn't say so. Having really replayed Mario Wonder, Mario Wonder's in a weird spot for me. It's in a really, really weird spot for me. Because while I think this game is fantastic, right? Pretty good, put some respect on it. I have a lot of thoughts about this game that I don't think I'll be able to elaborate on. And it's too new. No, okay. Can I just leave it here and explain next stream? Can I do that, please? Because like I have so many things I want to say about this game that I just don't think I can talk about right now. I really don't think I can. Like there's just it's too much. There's just too much I could say. So I'm just gonna leave it there and I'm gonna see what Boris says. I want to move on. Okay.
Starting with Super Mario Bros. Wonder. Hands down the greatest 2D Mario platformer of all time, besides 63. It blew my mind on release, and 1 year later, it still kinda does. I mean, where do I start? Besides the unique levels, dozens upon dozens of new unique enemies, the Wonder Flower is such a great addition to the game. I love the changes that happen to the stage upon activating them, but they also just really spice up the gameplay in general, making the levels more memorable. The online multiplayer is pretty cool too, because while you can't directly interact with each other, you can still help each other out by sharing items and rescuing other people's ghosts. I wanted to put this
I would say it was probably... That was like a... What did you guys think about the online? I know some people said it was really nice that other people couldn't interrupt you. Some people said it was really lame that other people couldn't interrupt you. What do you guys think?
But admittedly, it still has some pretty big problems. And no, it's not just that the bosses are bad. They are, but there's more. But I wish that the difficulty was a bit higher in general. I only had serious problems trying to beat the very last level. Otherwise, the game was a little too much of a cakewalk. And there's also a lot of stages that are kind of just filler. Like, did we really need that many badge challenges and break times and search parties? And I guess the local multiplayer...
I have other opinions on those, but again, I can't elaborate right now. I'm on a bit of a time crunch.
I can't throw anyone. But still, Mario Wonder is great for what it is.
I find the multiplayer to be chaotic without interaction. Probably a good decision to cut it. I can have so many thoughts on Wonder. I need to nail down the video someday. Someday soon, hopefully. I was going to do it this year, but I don't think I have enough time.
But what Mario doesn't do, Donkey Kong does that and more.
You guys know my opinion on Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze. You guys know my opinion on this game. I would elaborate, but I'm literally at, this is like one of the best things to ever do it, okay? This is like easily... Cinema. That's what I gotta say, cinema.
At number 7, we have Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. If you thought Mario Wonder was creative, well, oh man, you haven't seen a fraction of this game. In fact, it's probably just easier to show than tell. They went all out on theming and creativity. I mean, some stages will even dynamically change as you progress them, and the bosses are so good. And don't even get me started on the music. David Wise is a genius. And oh my, this game is brutal in its challenge. Seriously, every level after World 1 is harder than every level in Mario Wonder, except the badge marathon. And that does say a lot. But I do also feel that the major reason...
Personally, as a bit of a Donkey Kong Andy, the only time I had difficulty was the final world, because, you know, I'm kind of good at platformers, I'm just saying, Albert.
This game is so hard is because of DK's controls, and I do not like them. He's just so loose and floaty, which is a far cry from how swift and snappy it was in the SNES trilogy. And I hate how the obligatory run button also doubles as an unavoidable dash roll. If you're on a thin platform and accidentally press it, well, too bad, you're gonna launch yourself 50 feet forward. You lose...
I can see how in principle that's an issue. I can't say I've ever had an issue with the way Donkey Kong controls or the roll and run button is. I can't say I've ever had an issue, but I'm going to be honest.
Basically all you're handling, and it's super hard to undo your move. Again, the SNES trilogy at least allowed you to turn back quickly if you made that mistake. But beyond that...
I, in principle, can understand why you... For me, it's like, one of my favorite platforms ever made was Castlevania on the NES, one of my favorite things about that game is how restrictive the movement is. So when a platformer has restricted movement, I don't ever classify that as like a negative on the game. The only way it's a negative is if the game doesn't account for it. And I think this game accounts for its control scheme perfectly. I don't think there was an instance where I felt like the game didn't account for it, you know? So when it comes to like weird controls in platformers, I don't care if the controls are weird, as long as the game doesn't make it feel weird with its shitty game design. So I'm going to say you're just wrong, Albert.
This game is truly kingly, even if the original 3 games will always have a special place in my heart. Oh yeah, and Returns would get like a low B. I don't know, it was pretty generic compared to this, and shared all of the other problems this game had. Okay, these 6 games are the best of the best. Almost perfect.
What have we got left? Shit, god damn. Brothership made the top 6? Okay.
Every way. They're not quite flawless, but hey, nothing.
Yeah, it's like yeah, Brad said, it's like complaining that Mario is slow in Galaxy when he works perfectly fine in the context. Exactly. That's another perfect example. If my Castlevania 1 example was a bit too boomer, Mario Galaxy 1 is the perfect Zoomer-ish comparison, yes. When people complain that Mario Galaxy 1's Mario is way too slow, I'm like, it works perfectly for the game. I've never felt like I was too slow in that game.
Especially not Mario Party 4. Opening up the S tier, we have Super Mario Party Jamboree.
Ooh, Jamboree. We're gonna have a Jamboree. Okay, now, as much as I would love to put this here and call it a day, the couple of times I have played Jamboree was actually really fun. So do you know what? I'll put you like here. How about that? How about that? This was like the first time I played a Mario Party. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm actually having a lot of fun, you know? And it's not just the company I have is making the game fun, because of course if I'm playing a game with Ozzy, it's going to be fun. The game was actually really fucking fun.
This game is awesome.
Also, Kappa, unless you're my boss, shut up, nerd. Shut up, nerd, okay? We're finishing the video. Instead of taking the bus, I'm going to take the train today. We'll be fine, chat. We can go for another 5 minutes and then I really have to go.
Unfair experiences I've had in my life.
You're only saying that because the Womp took your golden mirror. Anyways, this is easily the best Mario Party game we've ever had, and will probably be for many years to come, because there is so...
Yeah, I think that's one thing I noticed, right? Yeah, it's just evil. The amount of times my star got fucking stolen, and I'm just like, I'm here for it. I'm here for it, okay?
So much content.
I love it.
The boards are easily some of the
like,
most...
I think, yeah, one of the things... I played, like, to be honest, I've only played the shopping district, the shopping mall board, like 3 times. I've not played any other boards. The one thing I just love is just, again, it just gives you so many opportunities to be evil and chaotic and crazy. It feels like you can do something substantial nearly every turn, and that's what I love about this Mario Party. I don't know if every other board is the same, but I know in the shopping mall board, it feels like you can do like a play like nearly every turn. I like that. I like that.
Is the series has seen, not to mention there's 7 of them. The side modes are also stellar, well except the flying one, and there's the most...
Okay, again, I'm on a time crunch, Albert. Let's move on to the next one. You like it, I get it. You like Mario Party, you're a Mario Party Andy.
Opening up the top 5 with Super Mario...
Too low. Too low. Well, to be fair, it's in top 5, so do you know what? Yeah, this is... I fucking love 3D World.
3D World plus Bowser's Fury. I can't believe Mario Party 8 predicted this game. So this is basically 2 great games in one cartridge. By themselves, none of them are amazing, but together, that's a good deal.
No. No? Both of them are amazing? You put 2 amazing games together and you get like... What are we doing, Albert? What do you mean? Bowser's Fury is like one of the best to do it. And 3D World, I played it on stream. 3D World is fucking insanely good. To the point where I'm calling it the big 3 instead of the big 2 now. It's no longer Galaxy vs Odyssey. It's Galaxy vs Odyssey vs 3D World. So 3D World plus Bowser's Fury, for being honest.
3D World is a masterful combination of 2D and 3D elements. In that the core gameplay is linear platforming, but you move around in a 3D environment. And it's wonderfully crafted, with tons of cool ideas, plus it's very well suited for multiplayer, with the open level design. It's a bit brutal to 100%, and there's not a lot of...
Really? Listen, again, from someone who just likes to get to the end of the video game and move on, I did not find it that brutal. So I thought 100... If anything, that's one of the easily one of the best parts about 3D World, is that the green stars feel like a really fun challenge to go through without being either too underwhelming or overwhelming. I never felt any single need to get the dragon coins in Mario World. I never really felt compelled to get the star coins in any of the new Soup games. I felt really compelled to get all the green stars in this game. This is the first time, 400%. Firstly, Toad, get it right, you fucking nerd. Secondly, fuck you for correcting me. Let's move on.
Cohesion between level themes. One moment you're in a dark swamp, then you're suddenly in a dojo, but it doesn't really affect the gameplay, which is great. And Bowser's Fury basically takes that game's mechanics and assets, but puts you
Yeah, the fact that you have to play it with all 5 characters, that's pretty crazy. That is pretty crazy. You know, fuck 3D World for that.
Sandbox.
No, actually, that's your fault for being a completionist, alright? If the game is going to do... No, that's your fault. That's your fault. That's your fault. You do not value your time if you're doing the same levels 5 times, alright? That's your fault.
It's awfully short, but I had way more fun with it than I thought I would. So yeah, this game is a huge yes please. But you know what's better than 2 great games at full price?
Oh, man. This is where Albert Boris takes a massive L, I'm gonna be honest. Bad company is bad. Guys, I stand with all the people who did not buy this game because, you know, horrible practice. You bundled 3 ROMs and then what? You made it a limited time thing. I do not stand with bad business practices, okay? I'm skipping. I do not stand with bad business practices, Albert Boris, and neither should you. And neither should you, okay?
Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door was already one of the best Mario games of all time.
Chat, you gotta help me with this one. Based or cringe? I do have this on my radar, so I do want to play it at some point. Based or cringe, chat? Based or cringe?
When it came out on the GameCube.
Too high, too low?
It had a much more intriguing story than even other Mario.
I don't want you spoiling anything for me, so I'm going to skip ahead simply because I don't want you to be spoiled, so that's why I'm skipping ahead. I'm sure your analysis is as amazing as it always is. What's next, though? Same with, if it's Brothership, I'm probably going to put Brothership skip as well.
How on earth did this game only get a 5 out of 10 from IGN? Look, I know I shouldn't get too worked up about this, but...
You shouldn't, but...
Because in my opinion, Mario and Luigi Brothership is easily one of the best revivals we could have gotten for this.
And I'm excited to continue playing it, so in order to avoid spoilers, I'm going to skip it. Top 2 does seem pretty crazy, though. That does seem pretty crazy. So... Crazy, interesting.
Franchise.
Oh,
I'm not going to delve into any major spoilers, but man, this game is so beautiful. From the title, you'd expect this game to be about the brotherly bond between...
Possibly recency bias? Too new? I don't know, Albert. Maybe you've been hit with the new allegations. Obviously, at number 1, we're going to have the GOAT. Mario Odyssey, number 1.
Okay, was this really a surprise? At number 1, we have not only my favorite Mario game on the Switch, but also one of my favorite games ever made. Quest for Glory 2.
Get out of here.
No kidding. It's Super Mario Odyssey. To be honest, I really don't know.
I feel like anyone saying this is wrong is... If Brothership being number 2 was like, guys, she might be hit with recency bias, you guys might be being hit with oldcency bias. I don't know what the reverse of recency bias is, but you guys might be being hit with it. I don't know.
What I could say to convey my love for this masterpiece.
What do I think about Mario Odyssey, though? It's been too long since I've played it, so I don't think I have like the most up-to-date take on it. But yeah, it's fantastic. Boomer bias, yeah, basically. Nostalgia bias, that's what it is. It is a fantastic... Like, if it wasn't for Tropical Freeze, this would be my favorite game on this. Yeah, I think that's fair. I think that's a fair placement. Did I like 3D World over Odyssey? I'd have to replay Odyssey. It's either here or it's here. One of the two. That's where it's at. I don't know yet. I'll leave it here for now, but I have to see when I replay Odyssey. I'll have to see how fun it is. But obviously, yeah.
Is it nostalgia? Yeah, a bit, I suppose. It was the first game I ever got for the Switch, and I've made more memories with it than I have for most of it.
Oh, I'm so sick of this. They gave it 5 out of 10. They had fair critiques. Yeah, but Costform, you made the mistake of defending IGN. Come on, Costform, come on now. Come on. Come on.
Really, it is, in
everyone likes a good hate wagon. Okay, if there's something we all know about the internet, everyone loves a good hate wagon. We all just like to hate things. Okay, hating's fun.
Opinion, the closest to perfection I've ever felt for a game. It's a 3D Mario game. That's already a good sign. And it's open world, even better. This game takes that genre, which is already my favorite.
Genre? Genre? Is that you doxing your real name, Genre? That's a cool name, though. That'd be a cool name for like a spy thriller. My name is Jean Ray.
and create an experience unlike anything else, with excellent world building, great gameplay
Place Japan.
with the captures, actually perfect controls, hundreds upon hundreds of collectible moods, with more
Yeah,
getting
but most of them are bad though, Albert. Most of them are bad.
added over time, wonderful soundtrack, lovable characters, and so much more. In fact, the more I think about it, I don't
Listen,
think
chat,
there's-
you're saying genre. I was thinking more like Jean, you know, like Geane, like the French, like a Frenchish kind of spelling. It sounds a bit more like exotic, you know, genre.
the single problem I have with this game. I mean, sure, some of the kingdoms are a bit half-baked, the difficulties
Yeah, like
very
that,
much
like,
on
yeah,
the easy
Helix has
side,
got it,
but
yeah,
if we're
genre,
purely
you know?
talking about what this game did, rather than didn't do, then no complaints at all. Thank you for everything, Mario Odyssey. And I hope the next 3D Mario is gonna be even better.
I really need to replay. If anything, this list taught me, Albert Boris, I really need to replay this game. And I really need to get going, chat, because I'm going to be late for work, and my boss is going to be very mad at me. Genre. But very good video, though. Overall, can I see, if you got your list at the end there, so I can see your full list?
And that, ladies
There's
and
your full list. Okay, so compare it to mine, which is not nearly as fucking substantive. Jesus Christ, yeah. Albert is the GOAT if you want, like, Nintendo takes. But I think what she says, Odyssey's the best to do it. For me, it's definitely, of the ones I have played, it's definitely Tropical Freeze is just fucking amazing, man.
gentlemen, is my full ranking of all
Well, what's looking a bit sus, chat to you? What's looking a bit sus? I would say being a WarioWare hater is actually incredible. That is actually incredible work, Albert. I'm going to be honest with you. Also, Donkey Kong Country Return. We know that you're a Donkey Kong hater, so fuck you. RPG, as someone who hasn't played the game but has heard everyone yap lyrical, that's also a strange take. Very strange. Wander outside the top 10 because it's a baby game when you made a tier list of baby games. A bit of cognitive dissonance, if I do say so myself. But overall, not the strangest tier list. I will have to play Brothership. I might call you on your Brothership take when I finish the game. Is it gonna be my second favorite? I don't know. It doesn't let you use B for Luigi in the command menu, so I don't know. I don't know about that. Seems pretty sus. But overall,
of
not the
Mario
craziest
games
takes.
on Nintendo Switch. Could this list
That's a bit too, baby.
have been better? Well, yeah, I suppose so. Obviously, when there are so many different genres of Mario games, some of them are
Genre? What happened to genre? Genres? It's not a genre? What the hell, bro?
bound to speak to me more on a personal level than others. I mean, for all I know, there's probably someone who thinks WarioWare Move It is their favorite Switch game, and they may not care for Odyssey at all. And that's fine. Everyone's taste is
And that's fine. Hang on. Where is it? Hang on.
different. This is by no means an objective ranking of the
No, it is. You're lying. It is.
games, but I hope you all enjoyed watching my thoughts on them nevertheless, because this was one of my favorite videos to make.
It was.
ever.
I thought it was
But
interesting.
What is your favorite Mario game?
If anything, Albert Boris, if anything, if anything, Albert Boris,
Hey,
if there's one thing this
everyone.
video has shown me is that you can talk about a game for, like, think about it. The average one you talks about, you talk, like, let's go take like your number 20 first, for example. Let's go by timestamp. You're 8:18 to like 9:33, right? On average, you yapped about one for like what, a minute and a half, 2 minutes, and yet I felt like your analysis was really good. So whenever another YouTuber does like one of these kinds of videos and yaps about a game for like 1 to 3 minutes and is very unsubstantive, I'm gonna fucking kill him for that, okay? Because if Albert can do it, I felt like Albert went through, gave enough analysis for everything where I was like, okay, I'm intrigued as what you have to say here. So every other YouTuber who's doing this, you're in the mud, okay? You're on the Albert fucking scale now, okay? It has to be at least 7 Alberts tall. If it's not at least 7 Alberts tall, then you're fucking gone, all right? Great video, though. We love Albert, guys. Like and subscribe. This is my favorite. Video. Thanks, Boris. Very cool. Very cool. Very cool, Albert. Very good. No, it was also correct, and then lol exclamation, the Albert Boris. I've done my part, chat. I've done my part. You go do yours, okay? Either way, I've got to go to work. I'm lucky I packed my bag beforehand, otherwise I would have been screwed. So gamers, there's your lot, okay? Get out of here.